Hey everyone, I'm not late, you're late. How's it going? Oh my goodness, wait, let me get the other streams up and going. There are so many channels to work through. How are you guys? How is everything? Happy Monday. Welcome back to the stream where we are raising money for the World Wildlife Fund, as they call it in the States and Canada. It's actually been renamed the World Wide Fund for Wildlife. Could not tell you why. It was a choice that was made forever ago, and I fully forgot that it happened until I had to set up for this stream, and I was like, am I gaslighting myself, or did this company used to be called something else? If you guys don't know what the WWF is, first of all, where have you been? They've been around since before I actually started, like, basically since before I gained consciousness. I remember seeing advertisements for them and a bunch of like trading initiatives for them, like back since forever ago. And so let's see, I need to fix my camera real fast, and then we'll be good. It's been a week. Been a whole week actually since we last streamed. How are you guys? How has the weekend been? Did anyone go to the pre-release events for Magic? I need to know. I saw so many. Okay, I'll talk about that in a sec. Let me actually go live. Okay, cool. Live. There we are. Ugh. Okay. What? Raising money for the WWF. It's a little bit chaotic today. Mondays are always a little bit wild. Here we go. Perfect. Hey, Natsu says, what a great stream to bring to Ding 3 months. Yeah, welcome in. Necromonic Rage, hello, good to see you. Oh my god, Drodane, hi, saying we're not playing the dog game today, I assume. First of all, Darkwood is not a dog game. We might play it if you guys really want to. It's not really the focus. I was just gonna yap for a little bit and see where it leads us. I was thinking a lot today about my degree for some reason while I was setting up like all of the WWF like overlays and things like that. By the way, the chat box has a little tiger. I don't know if you guys noticed. And so I was thinking about like all of the things that I learned, and I was like, how can I cram 4 years worth of animal education into a 1.5 hour stream 3 times over the course of the week? Oh hey, Brayden says, when does Magic start together? We can talk about Magic as well. I was talking about the pre-release event and bringing up the fact that so many people dressed up so astoundingly well for the pre-release. It looked fucking amazing. I didn't realize that so many people were dressing up like as their college colors, and then people who worked at the game stores were doing it too. Wheezy Wyvern, hello, saying I love charity streams. I helped my friend out with charity stream once, ended up getting a huge shaving foam pie in the face, but I really enjoyed it, and it was for a great cause, so I can't really complain. It's always, okay, the shaving cream pie thing has always confused me, because I thought that the point of the pie, I thought it would be like Cool Whip or something. Why the fuck is it always shaving cream? Like, if you're gonna waste a pie crust, you may as well have it be actually edible the whole way through, right? And then you don't have to worry about toxicity if it gets in your mouth, which I assume is kind of part of the point, right? Maybe I didn't prank enough people in the 90s because I was basically not born, but it seems like a really old school sort of prank that really could just be replaced with Cool Whip. Or Ready, I don't know, your preferred whip. Cheese Bar says shaving cream is easily washed off. Oh, I mean, I guess that's a good point. But hello to everyone over on Instagram. Let's see. Let's get TikTok up and going as well. Add topic. Chatting, I suppose. I always find it weird when certain platforms are like, you have to tell us specifically what you're talking about right now. It's like, I'm gonna talk about 3 different things over the course of the next hour at minimum. At least let me change my UI if you're gonna let me do that, if you're gonna force me to do that. Nate, hello. Lucas says the WWF overlay isn't updating. Oh, is it not? Here, that's weird. I set it up the exact same way as the other ones. Let me try this real fast. Refresh? Okay, cool. I had to manually refresh it, but yeah, we already raised $25. By the way, thank you guys so much for all of the donations over the course of the year. We're like barely into the year, 4 months in. We've already had so much raised for amazing causes. The WWF is definitely one of my favorites. They're doing a big push right now called Level Up for Earth. And it actually started, I wanna say back in May. It started a little while ago, and it's ending on Earth Day. And so a bunch of content creators around the world are getting together and streaming and doing their best to, I actually show you all this info. Why am I yapping at you? Here's what we're actually doing. It's called Level Up for Earth. If you guys wanted to raise money with them as well, you absolutely can. I just am in love with the pixel art personally. And it's from March, not even May. March 28th through April 22nd. April 22nd is Earth Day, and so that's when it ends. And we're doing our best to raise as much money as we can for the WWF, which does a bunch of conservation across the world. It is worldwide for nature. They really lean hard into the across the world thing, and it's specifically. Oh, Crippleton wants me to hydrate. I can absolutely do that. Goodness. Wheezy Wyvern says shaving foam is really easy to just rinse off at the end of the stream, so I ended up taking a bubble bath to wash it off. That makes sense, and then you're not making like a soup with Cool Whip, I suppose. But we have a $50,000 goal between now and Earth Day in a couple days. And so if you don't know what the WWF does, first of all, again, where have you been? But they are an organization that helps with conservation worldwide. And it's also kind of locally driven. It's not like they're just sending people out to other countries and telling them what to do. It's more like they're empowering nations across the world to kind of help themselves help nature. And that sort of stuff has always been really important to me. For those who don't know, I studied zoology back when I was in college. I actually volunteered at the Oregon Zoo, which is a really massive part of conservation, at least here stateside, when it comes to education side of things. And there's a lot that I learned there. Basically throughout my entire life, I've been a big nerd for animals, of course. And so I absolutely love these guys, and can tell you a lot about the sorts of work and the sorts of like theory behind what goes on with groups like this and with organizations like this. The big like underlining point though is the fact that these animals can't advocate for themselves, you know? They're like, look at the little tiger under the chat box. He can't speak English. He can't write a strongly worded letter. So especially when it comes to things like climate change and the way that it has like a global impact basically out the gate, you can kind of think of it like water moving around the bottom of a shallow pan. You absolutely cannot just like pick and choose where exactly your global issues like climate change affect the most or the least. And of course those certain areas get hurt a lot more than others. The ocean is a really big example of this, where there's a lot of issues with regards to like whether or not we'll have shellfish in the future because of ocean acidification, which, God, I could go into acidification all day. Klepto Ferret says another good group is Jim Green Boots. For every 10 pairs of boots or shoes, they donate to the African Rangers. Oh, hell yeah. And Lucas says, okay, the overlay is automatically updating now. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. But thank you so much to the people who donated already. We have $225 already, which is insane. Let me see. It's, oh my God, from a bunch of you. Hey, Lucas says, shout out to opossums. Dude, yeah, fun fact about possums, by the way. Opossums are like the only marsupial in America. But the marsupials actually started in America, and then they migrated back when Pangea was all together. And hi, Rajna, saying I just freaked out. I yelled at my wife. I know this lady, she does D&D stuff. She's like, oh, shucks, hello. Say hi to your wife for me, and hello, welcome in. So the thing about marsupials is they all started in the Americas, and then they moved across the continent to what is now Australia. And then Australia broke off and floated away, except opossums were too late to the party. They didn't make the ship, and so that's why we have possums here in the Americas, and then all of the rest of the marsupials are over in like Australia and all that. It was pretty funny. Cash Cow said, I say it like I was there. This was ages ago. Anyway, so we're up to $285. I haven't even gone to the prizes yet, but we had $25 from Luggage. We had $100 from Nimbus. Hello, welcome back, Nimbus. Yves donated $10 saying, kick off the charity. I'm a backpacker, so this is a cause that has some personal importance to me. Save the world while we can and screw big oil. Absolutely. Bootstraps Nate also donated $100, and I had milestones set up. I don't know if they actually, I don't think they got turned on, so I realize now you guys weren't able to see them, but there are a bunch of incentives, which are, oh yeah, here we go. I'll turn them on, I'll activate them. So they should update now. There we are. There's 3 of them. One at $250, which we've already bypassed, one at $500, and one at $750. Just like the usual breakdown of how we do giveaways here on the channel is over in the Discord this weekend. If we make each of our goals, for every milestone we hit, I will be giving away, provided by the Worldwide Fund, a little gift bag, which has a stuffed animal inside. So we are giving away 3 stuffed animals. One is a panda, which is gonna be, I think, the next one, right? The second one at $500? Yeah, the stuffed panda is at $500. We already reached the first goal, which was for, there we go. Which was for a stuffed elephant. Here we go. They're big too. So there's this little guy in here. And then we also have a stuffed orangutan to give away. So be sure to join the Discord if you guys are interested. All you have to do is click a reaction. There's no purchase necessary or anything like that, and I will have them shipped out to you in their little bags. But here we are. Kashka said the older I get, the more I realize that Thanos had a point. Oh my god, yeah. So overpopulation is such a wild... It's a weird thing because it's more a social issue than anything, and the biggest thing we can do to reduce overpopulation is to educate women, categorically, because in especially developing countries, which used to be third world countries. Fun fact, they changed that while I was in school, so if you left school before 2017, you might not know this. We don't call them third world countries anymore, we call them developing countries. And educating women is like the number one thing we can do to reduce overpopulation, because if they realize that they have an education and they have other pathways that aren't just be a mother for themselves, then they're more likely to not just have kids for the sake of the fact that it's destined and all that for them. Notzer says they have to tear from the Diana and the cat's clutches. I do have my own little panda. I have a couple of them because I always visit the WWF booth at TwitchCon every year, and they're always so sweet. Let's see, but people are saying, oh, I love pandas. Hi, Panda Rider over on TikTok. Perfect timing. So yeah, we'll be giving those away at every milestone that we hit over in the Discord. The end goal being $750, but thank you guys so much for helping us raise $285 within the first, like, what, half hour? Which is crazy, so thank you. Victor said, did someone mention paleontology stuff? Not quite, but we were talking about the marsupial migrations. A little bit. So I keep wanting to like hug these animals, but they are going to you guys, so I will refrain. There we go. I will also keep the cats away from them, I promise. Let's see. Hi, Bolins. Hello. I want to shout out Cash Cal and HT, both of whom are on some stream streaks. We have HT at 80 streams and Cash Cal at 65. We also have, let's see, Bonehead over on YouTube. It says, hey, quick question. Have you ever played the Traveler RPG? Oh, no, but I feel like I've heard the name. Traveler RPG? Oh, it's science fiction. That'd be why. I don't usually play a lot of science fiction stuff. This looks cute as hell, though. This looks great. Oh my god, it's got a lot of content, too. Oh, this is huge. Okay, yeah, no, this is my first time hearing about it. How does it... It's from Mongoose Publishing. I don't know these guys. It looks like it goes back ages. Campaigns, The Fifth Frontier War, accessories, fiction, ebooks. Oh my god, they have their own fiction line? Goodness. Hadner says, it's one where you can die during character creation. What? No way, really? Also, Miriak says, wait, no hug those plushies. I should not, but Lino says, Traveler has the best character creation mechanics. What do you do for it? And Dank says, surely overpopulation can't be a problem. Musk said the problem was population decline. Jesus. It is a regional issue, I will say, as far as like, it depends on what your priorities are and where you are exactly, you know, but generally it's not a great thing. God, I could get into the issues. I remember back when I was working at the Oregon Zoo, the biggest one that stuck out for me at the time was I actually worked at the orangutan exhibit. I was doing like volunteer, what we call interp. It's just interpretation, where we talk to people about what we happen to be standing in front of and what exhibit we happen to be standing in front of. And it's less like, oh, here's this animal, here's what we feed it, like here's all this sort of stuff. Although we do answer those questions as well. What I did, especially with regards to orangutans, was a lot of education about the palm oil issue in Borneo. Because orangutans are native to exactly one fucking island, essentially. And the deforestation that is being done there in order to plant palm tree plantations is immense, and its habitat, it's landscape changing actually, and it's driven a lot of orangutans out of their native habitat, which is why you should be looking for it. And this is just like the super abridged version of this speech, but you should be looking for, ideally, sustainable palm oil when you're shopping. Thing is, palm oil is in everything. Palm oil is in so many things. It's in your soap, it's in your food, it's in like a ton of things, but there's specifically a sustainable palm oil, like, yeah, this is it. The RSPO logo that you can look for, that's like the good kind. So I was like showing people different products and being like, hey, like raise your hand and name something. And it's like, yeah, that probably has palm oil in it. And I was showing people a bunch of different labels about like peanut butter and things like that, and talking to them about what exactly to look for while they're shopping. Nasser says Kraft bought UK chocolatier Cadbury and started adding palm oil. There is good palm oil. It'd be very hard to get rid of palm oil entirely, in the same way that it'd be like asking Americans to get rid of corn syrup. You know, it's been so like hard coded into the manufacturing of things. So I don't know. But yeah, there is sustainable versions. Lino says they have a life. Okay, we're talking about Traveler again. They have a life path creation thing. So your character goes through a four-year increments trying to survive and get promoted in various jobs, and it often doesn't go to plan. And you can get allies, enemies, contacts, whatnot through that. You can get fired multiple times during character creation, and that's just funny to me. It's a full-on mini game to make a character. That's actually so funny though. Oh yeah, and Bootstrap State says, what was the acronym RSPO? I believe it's the. Oh my god, I'm forgetting it. Yeah, the Roundtable on Sustainable Palm Oil. It's just like an organization that basically can certify whether or not you have a sustainable approach to palm oil growth. And again, like getting rid of palm oil entirely would then screw over farmers to a degree. So it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, hey, if we're gonna do it, we're gonna make sure we're doing it right. Not asking people to cut it out entirely, but. Oh yeah, Victor says orangutans are also found in Sumatra, but also again very impacted by the palm oil industry. That was it. That was the other one. It was like Borneo and another one, because it's like that whole island. I can picture it in my head like the exact shape of the island because I stared at this map for so long. But yeah, that's the orangutan thing. What else? Matcha says that can a Gyarados count as my favorite animal? So my favorite thing about Pokemon is the fact that they are so blatantly like inspired by very specific animals and very specific terminology when you look at like their names and their designs. One of the things I used to do is back when I was like bored as hell, I would go onto the Pokemon like wiki. I think they call it Bulbapedia. I would go into Bulbapedia and I would just like go through all of the Pokemon like one after the other and just look at what their namesake was and then all of the like trying to figure out if I could guess it or if they. A lot of them are really obvious. Like obviously Bulbasaur is a bulb and a dinosaur. Charmander is obviously a salamander, and char as in, you know, charred things. But some of them are less obvious. And then I would look at like the designs of the creatures and see if the wiki had any fun facts. Like, oh, this is designed after this specific type of creature or this specific like species. Luke says Pokemon names are original and clever. Meanwhile, Ekans. Yeah. Ekans and what was it? Arbok? Insane. But you know, it was such a foreshadowing to the fact that they have car key Pokemon now. Yvestas, can you show off the floofs for the wildlife stream? Let me see if they're up. They were napping when I was getting ready for stream, but they've also been napping for a really long time. So they might be up by now. They're asleep. I have a window bed for them. And they're the sweetest little things. They just like curl up on top of the window thing and stare at the birds. It's one of those things that has like giant, like fuck off huge suction cups that you put onto a glass pane, like a sliding glass door or a window or whatever. And then it's really soft. Like they absolutely love piling onto it. Benji says some of the mythology that Pokemon are based off of are wild. Oh my gosh, yeah. It's pretty cool. Oh yeah, the cheese prop says Onyx is just rocks. I know, but at least it's a rock snake sort of thing, you know? Crubbleton says, raise your hand if you thought they were called orangutans through your adolescence because of Tang commercials. And Nate says, dude, one of the older Pokemon manga had them actually acting like animals. Professor Oak was like a Steve Irwin of the Kanto region. Really? So they didn't say their name or anything? Or did they actually have like animal sounds? Also, shout out to, oh my gosh, we have a couple new subscribers. Half is here, welcome back for 6 months. We also have V, we also have Hydrate from Reginald, which I can absolutely do. Victor says, what is your favorite animal? Ooh. So I kind of mentioned this before, biologists don't really have a favorite animal so much as they have a favorite like subspecies of animal, or like a subspecies or a species within each category of animals. So I can point out like a favorite crab, favorite giraffe, favorite like land mammal, which would be giraffe, favorite fish, favorite frog, like all that sort of stuff. Definitely one of my favorites though has to be, absolutely hands down, I only know the scientific name, I forgot. The Pacific tree frog, that was it. I wasn't trying to flex, I was like, I know it primarily because I worked on it in a research capacity and no one calls, when you do research, you're not really allowed to call the animal by its normal name. You mostly have to refer to it by its like genus species name. So P. regilla was all I knew this guy as. But this is the Pacific Northwest's only native tree frog. which are so cute. They're called the Pacific chorus frog or the Pacific tree frog, and you can tell that they're a tree frog because if you look at these guys' little, yes, let me redirect, please. There we go. If you look at their little toesies, they actually have like squared ends of their toes. You can see it closer here. And if they have a square end to their toe, then that means it like helps them grab onto, you know, bark and stuff like that better. And so normal frogs, like, I don't know, that aren't tree frogs, like let's say a bullfrog, you can see that they have more pointed, like actual stabby, more so fingers and not rounded off fingers. Mirax says, because common names can be confusing for international people, as some plants have similar names but are completely different genus. And yeah, so the little toe pads. Yes, and yeah, it's definitely a scientific, it's just proper, you know, it's just how we do things. The hatred that my lab back in the day had for bullfrogs was insane. We were so known for hating bullfrogs that we would get called in to clear bullfrogs out of like a local area's, you know, decorative pond or, you know, a hotel's water fountain or something like that because they're just so goddamn invasive. So I don't know as much about bullfrogs. I do know that these little Regillas, the Pacific tree frogs, are also so tiny that back when I was raising them as part of my job back in the lab, they're the froglets, which is like what they're called when they first start breathing air, were so small that they could just kind of chill on my pinky finger and just kind of hang out there and take a nap. And it was so cute. Yeah, Miriax says, oh yeah, bullfrogs are not native to the West Coast. No, they're real bad around here. But yeah. Temporella says, any head empty looking animal gets a thumbs up from me. You would fucking love the sunfish, dude. This is the fish that, God, I'm pretty sure there was like a meme once on Tumblr about someone absolutely hating it, the sunfish, because it doesn't do anything. It's just incredibly dumb. It has no like survival skills. It doesn't really do much and things like that. Cheeseroll says you raised some. Yeah, so I was working at a herpetological lab over at Oregon State University for a little while. I worked under he was simultaneously one of the best frog scientists in the world, but also the #1 worst frog scientist in the world, as voted by like a couple people, because apparently they have votes for that. Klepto says it's a marine biologist who absolutely hated the sunfish. That's the one. Yeah, hold on, can I find the sunfish rant? Oh yeah, this is it. Here we go. It's a copy pasta, Jesus. It's fucking huge. Let's see. Control plus. People talking about sunfish here. Anyway. Oh wait, no, what was I talking about though? Right, so the scientist I worked under was apparently voted the worst scientist in the world because he was proven, and here's the thing, he put out a study a little while ago, ages ago, back before my time, where it was a study on, I want to say, the impacts of, I think, certain parasites or certain chemicals on frogs when put into their water when they're tadpoles. And it like messed with their limbs or something like, no, it wasn't the limb one, but it was something else. And another scientist who edited it or like saw it in a paper and then absolutely hated it, tried to clap back at him and be like, absolutely not. Like, this is such faulty research. Like, this chemical does not do this really bad thing. How could you like even say that? Like, basically scientists fight each other all the time. Scientists hate each other, by the way. They just really, they express it in very polite ways, in a sense. And so there were these two scientists fighting each other over what exactly happened to these frogs under these specific environment situations and this specific type of, I'm pretty sure it was pollution. I'm pretty sure it was chemicals. And eventually, my scientist, the guy I worked under, got voted the worst scientist in the world because this other guy made it seem like his research was so fucked up and so wrong. And then eventually, other people kept doing research on the same thing. They kept digging, and then they found out that he was right. So he was voted worst scientist in the world, and then he was like went on this crazy vindication arc where that he was proven right, and he came out of it still kind of being considered he still calls himself the worst scientist in the world for the bit, but it's quite funny. But But yeah, Yves says, my top animal for no thoughts is any kind of crab. No thoughts ever. Yeah, crabs are fun. Crab. I don't know of any specific types of crab outside of, I really like the giant ones, like the big spindly ones that are at the bottom of the ocean. Oh my gosh, what are they called? The ones that look like aliens that have the really, 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 really long, like, legs. Someone says, ah, yes, another Galileo. Do not tell him that, it will go straight to his head. He'll get a bumper sticker put on his fucking car. He's hilarious, but they are spider crabs. Okay, spider crab. Easily the best kind of crab, because they look horrific. You do not want this thing crawling at you in the middle of the night, you know? It's horrifying, but it's really cool. They're so big, you know? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I just like these. I just think they're neat. There's also, oh god, have I gone on a carcinization, like, rant yet? I'm pretty sure I have before on this stream, so I'll keep it short, but, give it a cuddle? Absolutely not. Look at those pincers, dude. So there's this thing that people like to quote a lot of the time, which is called carcinization, which is the slow evolution of everything into crabs. And it is a scientific thing, sort of, where... Sorry, I'm allergic to crabs. They're, like, essentially a bunch of scientists took a look at a bunch of body plans of a bunch of different creatures. And they were like, hey, crabs have really shown up a lot over the course of the years, haven't they? Where, like, over time, things from separate family trees, unrelated to each other, would slowly evolve into having this rounder, flatter body shape, and they would become more crab-like, essentially. Which is, sort of true, sort of not. The thing about carcinization is, A, it's really only a thing with, like, sea creatures and very specific sea creatures that are still very close to crabs in the first place, just because they're not directly crabs, and they don't all start off directly as crabs, and they all move towards a crab direction eventually, separately. They're all still, like, kind of in that ballpark anyway already to begin with. So it's not like there are fish turning into crabs, you know? It's mostly, like, other crab-type things turning into crabs separately. And so... I don't know, it's mostly just because, like, again, under the sea, having immense amounts of sea pressure, having the ability to avoid predators, and, you know, move under rocks, means that, you know, it's helpful to have a smaller, flatter body shape and smaller, rounder body shape and all that sort of stuff. And so a lot of people joke about carcinization. It's not as serious as people make it sound. It is still funny though, and it's funny to talk about, but it's not like they have, like, God's body plan all necessarily. It's just for their particular underwater type vibes. Yeah, you know, they figured it out. Deuce says we don't have to worry about growing shells then. Nah, not with the way our oceans are acidifying. Sorry, forgive me if I'm getting too preachy. This is like all of my education coming back to me at once. So fun thing. Ocean acidification. It's this thing, it's not like the ocean is straight up turning into acid. It's more like, in order for acids and bases to coexist, they're, how do I put this? They neutralize each other. And the amount of acid that we have in the ocean that is free floating needs to be neutralized by something. There's an increasing amount of it getting dumped into the ocean through increasingly acidic rainfall and all that sort of stuff, and runoff and all that fun stuff, right? And the only way to neutralize, or the easiest way to get that acid neutralized, is to take from the calcium-based shells of living organisms, which makes those organism shells incredibly weak and makes it a lot easier for them to suffer from basically everything, which is why we're seeing, for example, I don't know, just like less, or over the course of the next however long, we're gonna see a lot more impact on things like, you know, crab and lobster dishes being a lot less common. You know, farming is gonna be more of a thing, but also you can't really farm unless you have a water source that's not the ocean, because it is ocean acidification. It's kind of everywhere. I don't know. It's a whole thing. Point being that in order to neutralize all of the acid in the ocean and in the rain, in the water cycle, it has to pull from living organisms, and it has to pull from shells. So, yeah. Benji says, understood, give the ocean tums. Basically, except the tum is like a crab somewhere. Let's see. Nimbus says, let the ladies know you have a peak physical condition by dropping into a crab stance. Dude, yeah, crab walking across the club floor. would absolutely get me. By the way, for those just joining us, hello, welcome in. We are raising money for Level Up for Earth, which is the Worldwide Fund for Nature's current campaign, which ends in a couple days, trying to bring, basically enhance conservation efforts worldwide and help protect wildlife who can't advocate for themselves and who get the short straw on a lot of the stuff that us humans do. We are trying to raise $750 over the course of the next couple days. We're already at 445, which is insane. We had a couple people donate already. If you go to the Tiltify page by using !WWF in the chat, you can get taken straight there. But it looks like we had Andresh Mondre, hello, who donated $60. We had Trodane with 25, Cheese with 25 again, and Just Mersey with 50, How's Duggan with 50. Also, we got a question saying, what's your favorite frog? Okay, this one's fun. There's a frog out there called, I talked about it briefly a little bit on stream the other day. It's called the hairy frog, also known as the Wolverine frog. And it's a frog that legitimately breaks its own arm bones and then sticks them out through their own skin in order to act as weapons and self-defense like claws. Michael over on TikTok says, am I late to the crab class 101? We can go back to, I don't know a lot about sea creatures, honestly. Not as much. But there are, let's see. Yeah, they're also known as like the what do you call them? The hairy frog, because they do just have a lot of what looks to be hair. It's not actual hair, but it's they call it the Wolverine frog because of that, because of the claws, and it can kind of shove. Yeah, I don't know. That's just its own self-defense mechanism. It shoves its own claws through its skin and uses them to kind of attack. Yeah, here we go. Here's a New Scientist article. Horror frog breaks its own bones to produce claws. Here, you can see a lot more of it here. So it kind of separates out from its rooting. Yeah, it is pretty horrifying to think about. Let's see. Museum of Comparative Zoology. Researchers say that there are salamanders that force their ribs through their skin to produce protective barbs on demand, but nothing quite like this has been seen before. It breaks its own bones to produce claws that puncture their way out of the frog's toe pads, presumably when it's threatened. Some frogs have spony spines that project from their wrist, but in those species, they grow through the skin rather than pierce it when needed. Let's see. It also has some claws on its hind feet only, and they straight up, they live inside a bunch of connective tissue and they just tear away from that connective tissue whenever they need to. It's a lot of fun. Also, DB says, all right, but where does the goblin shark stand in the shark tier list? The goblin shark is pretty high. For those who don't know, by the way, if you're afraid of sharks, hang tight for a quick sec. The goblin shark is the shark that basically sends out its own jaws forward to help capture prey, if I remember correctly. This is not something I'm very familiar with. Again, I don't do benthic creatures. I don't do ocean creatures very much. But it's its own genus and own family, at least at the time of being discovered. Various anatomical features of the goblin shark, such as its flappy body and small fins, suggest that it's sluggish in nature. All right, well, that's kind of rude. Let's see. It has highly protrusible jaws containing nail-like teeth, and it reaches about 3 to 4 meters when fully grown. Yeah, basically, jaws are really fucked up looking on this guy. Let's see. Deuce says, ever seen a Suriname toad? I have not. What the hell is a Suriname toad? Oh god. Yeah, I'm not gonna show a picture of that because a lot of people have tryptophobia, but it's one of those frogs that have they keep their eggs on their back and it looks really bumpy, like the most fucked up form of acne, essentially. And it is quite flat. It is a flat little boy. Oh my goodness. I didn't know that those had, I forgot that was the name for that. It's super cool. Oh yeah, and Thick just says, gotta love thresher sharks that use their tail as a whip to stun prey. Dude, using random limbs as a whip is surprisingly popular in ocean animals. You know swordfish? Is it swordfish? I'm pretty sure it's swordfish that do that too. Because they don't impale their, food that way or anything like that, because it's, how would they eat it? Let's see. Yeah, a large pointed flat bill that resembles a sword. It's superficially similar to other billfish, but their physiology is different and they're members of different families. Let's see, behavior. Okay. The popular image of the swordfish skewering its prey with its nose is based on very little evidence. Usually it's used to slash at prey and inflict weakening injuries. And we're not entirely sure if they even use them defensively like that, for the most part. It's among the fastest fish in the world. They're not schooling fish, so on and so forth. But yeah, it's mostly like a little wacky thing. Let's see. Victor says orcas also do that to whack rays. Unsurprised. Like, whacking is such a... it's very popular among fish. Let's see. Cashcal said, what's more impressive is after they whipped, watch them nay-nay. Anyway, for those who are... what the hell did I walk into? Hi, we're doing a charity stream for the Worldwide Fund for Wildlife. We are doing... Here, let me actually show this Tiltify here real fast, because we're trying to raise money for Level Up for Earth, basically between now and Earth Day, raising as much as we can for wildlife. I will say we're almost up to the $500 mark, at which point we give away a panda plush, which will be over in the Discord this weekend. It's not gonna be right now, so you have plenty of time to join. It's quite cute. We are also currently giving away an elephant plush as well, so there's already prizes. Lena says also giraffes whack with their necks. It's brutal to watch. Yeah, so giraffes, oh god, it's just very, giraffe necks are like all muscle. It's terrifying. Boxing says the mantis shrimp and or the pistol shrimp. Yeah, mantis shrimps have, they have a lot of fun stuff about them. I don't know where exactly they came from, but they're incredibly colorful. They have really wild looking eyes, and they also have the ability to see a lot more colors than we do. And they do like punch incredibly hard. I think it's like, doesn't it like boil the water around them or something like that? Or is that a myth? Mantis shrimp. They hunt using either spearing or smashing techniques. Their claws act like loaded springs, which unleash strikes at 50 miles per hour to impale soft prey or to shatter hard shells, often creating lethal shockwaves. Ugh. Oh, the strike is so fast it vaporizes the water, creating cavitation bubbles. When the bubbles collapse, they produce hot shockwaves, heat, and light, which often kills or stuns prey even if the initial strike misses. These guys are fucking... If you could be any type of superhero that had your powers based off of a real life thing, having the ability to superheat water with a punch would be pretty fucking great. Yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, and Lucas wants me to check my posture, saying, speaking of shrimp, one punch shrimp, yeah, god. Lita says the mantis shrimp are metal as fuck. Yeah, and then Fox King says the pistol shrimp snap and create a shooting bubble that is hotter than the surface of the sun. Jesus. Oh yeah, and then Axeman says I have a pistol shrimp as a pet in my D&D campaign. That'd be a good pet. I thought it was so clever when, like, I find when people create unique familiars, it's one of my favorite things. Like, one of my favorite moments in the OG Critical Role series, which was, god, so fucking long ago, they had a guest on that was blind but used a hummingbird familiar to see, and it was such a good idea. It was very clever, you know? Let's see. Deuce says never waiting for the kettle again. And then Hadner says Shrimp Boy doesn't have a very intimidating ring to it though. Hey, once they see what Shrimp Boy can do, they'll be scared, all right? Oh yeah, speaking of tabletops and tabletop news, by the way, did you guys see that Dungeon Masters got announced? D&D, like the actual Wizards of the Coast people, are doing their own actual play, which, first of all, they're putting so much money into that thing. Oh my god. Dungeon Masters. It's a like D&D actual play that's actually created by WotC that has Neil Newbin, Jasmine, and you know a bunch of people that I've had the pleasure of sharing a table with once or twice, which has been quite nice. But it's like, look at I mean, not just them being amazing actors, that's also great. But I was gonna say, if you get a chance to look at this table and this set that they have, and then the intro that they did was commissioned by a like papercraft artist who where on earth? They don't have it here. The actual play. I was looking for the like intro cinematic that they did. It looks really gorgeous. I'm just saying you should go check it out. I think it's pretty promising. I don't know if we need more actual plays in the space, but I think D&D needed to get involved in actual plays a long time ago. I mean, they did by sponsorship, obviously, but like having their own is pretty solid. I'm curious if it's gonna be like properly Forgotten Realms lore. Jasmine is still like, yeah, she's super cool. And Lino says they've done some of these before. Hopefully they put some mustard behind it this time. Otherwise, it'll be left to wallow in obscurity. It looks like they're putting all of the condiments behind it. Yeah. Temporella says the Kermes bug or Crimson Worm is epic also. The Kermes bug? Am I gonna regret looking this up? It's a genus of gall-like scale insects. This is a bug? Oh, this is horrifying. So galls are little, like, almost like tumor-like substances on the outside of bark on trees, on woody trees usually. And they look like little, like I said, like tumors essentially. Apparently there's an insect that disguises itself as one of those galls, which is crazy. And it now makes me really nervous for how many of these things I might have seen that I thought were galls that were actually, okay. Oh, okay, and they have wings and stuff too? And the ones that look most like gulls are females. That's horrifying. That's terrible. That's horrific. There are some like really fucked up looking animals out there. God, what was the one that had, there's a species of mistletoe. Tree cuts through cables. There's like a type of tree. Yeah, Australia's Christmas tree. The Western Australian Christmas tree specifically, it has this thing where it like its roots try and be parasitic against other roots. Hi Dale, welcome to the stream. We're talking about animals and nature and stuff. It tries to be parasitic against other nearby trees because its roots will go down, find a nearby tree, wrap around the other tree's roots, and then grow like this, almost like teeth, like little protrusions on the inner circle that then cut through that secondary root and start siphoning away nutrients from it, which is absolutely crazy. Mistletoe is a parasite. You can kind of see, yeah, here we go. This is kind of what it looks like. It creates like that little like noose sort of looking root. Forms a collar of tissue around it like a swollen wedding ring, and then like just chops through it. The thing is, it also chops through like underground cables and stuff like that, to the point that it's genuinely become a problem for cities to deal with, because they'll cut through like power lines and internet lines and things like that underground, because they'll think that it's another route. Oh yeah, Temporal says parasites and bugs do be getting freaky out there. We have quokkas to balance things out though, thank God. I also love that the entire continent of Australia has gotten together and decided to just tell people that drop bears are a thing and be so serious about it. Dude says, sometimes I don't know if you're talking fact or spinning plant-based bodily horror. It's my favorite thing. This is why when I was working with Andy on the like environmental, what was it called? Exoecology for Monster Hunters. It was the Exoecology book is a D&D 5e supplement from forever ago that deals with like invasive species that are from other planes of existence in your D&D world. And I was consulted for it, for like specifically an addendum that was all about plant-based creatures. And the mistletoe was like an inspiration for it. Hydra, the concept of grafting was like a really big one. There was a lot there. Have I told you guys about like a fruit salad tree yet? This is something that is really cool, and everyone should kind of know. If you're gonna know anything about plants, you should know what grafting is. So essentially, as long as trees can be like cut and pasted onto each other, which is so funny to me. You can take any tree, and as long as they have the same basic, like especially fruit trees, as long as they have the same basic like root, I think it's the same genus, or they're the same family or something like that, you can chop a branch off of like a plum tree, for example, and then paste it onto an open branch of a nectarine tree or something like that. And then it'll just kind of like heal itself and continue growing as if it was there the whole time, which has led to what people call fruit salad trees, which are trees that have a bunch of different fruits where every single branch is from a different source tree. And they all have like a bunch of different fruits essentially on the same source tree. Yeah, here we go. Grow different fruits on one tree. So lemons, limes, oranges, like citruses can all be grown onto each other, I'm pretty sure. Apples are a pretty big one. So actually this is fun because apples are from the rose family, I believe. And so what you can do is you can take the base of a apple tree and then graft a bunch of like rose bush, what do you call it, branches onto it, and then create what's called a rose tree, which looks like a really stubby little tree made out of roses. But the reason that it's got like an actual trunk as opposed to branches the whole way down is because people have grafted it this way. And so this is what they end up looking like. It's really pretty. Let's see. Dude says a fruit salad tree is awesome. Yeah, apparently Costco had one not too long ago for like 60 something bucks. I would never in my life be able to take care of one long enough for it to actually bear fruit, but my God. Let's see, Matt says broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, kale, and cabbage are all the same plant genetically and can interbreed. Yeah! So where's the Brussels sprouts diagram? Cabbage diagram of vegetables. We basically like selectively bred a bunch of different types of plants from different sections of this one species of brassica. So, oh my God, I don't want to become a member of Vox membership. Hold on. There we go. This is it. We basically like took different parts of the same plant and then did some selective breeding, and then made each of the parts that we want bigger, depending on what exactly we wanted out of it. So we made, you know, Brussels sprouts, we made cabbage, whatever the hell kohlrabi is, never heard of it. But let's see, kale, broccoli, cauliflower, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, Silver Fox says, oh wait, I think that's a whole separate thing. But this is, so I also find it weird that like, we haven't tried this with more plants. I feel like if we can do this from one single really old brassica species, we should be able to do it with other types of like plants as well. I don't know. Thick just says really underrated animal, the dhole, also known as the whistling dog. Yeah. Oh wait. Yeah. Hold on. Let's see. Here we go. I had to be very careful looking up the word d-hole specifically. Here we are. Mostly because he's just a weird looking guy. He's just got like a flat little face. He looks like a taxidermy of himself, essentially. Also, Red says, I like some and hate most of these. Oh, of the plants? Yeah, right? I will also say, isn't there a thing where Brussels sprouts got sweeter over time? And then oh my gosh, what do you call it? They like changed and people were gaslighting themselves into thinking that they sucked. But the truth is they did suck back when we were in like, I don't know, back when we were kids. And then eventually they got bred to be sweeter. And so now they taste pretty okay. That might be an urban legend though. Oh, Matt says strawberries, raspberries, blackberries, and pumpkins. Guess which one of those 4 things are actually a berry? The other 3 are not. Oh, a pumpkin, definitely. So the fun thing about berries is like technically they have to have the seeds on the inside. So strawberries, raspberries, and blackberries do not count as fruits at all, I think. Technically, I don't know. Let's see. Oh, Craig says, so what you're saying is the mother of Ents could be a fruit salad tree. Actually, that would be so great. That'd be so fun. Can you imagine that sort of stuff in a tabletop space in like a fantasy world where Ents can kind of like create fruit salad trees based off of interbreeding and all that? Yeah, Lino says they've been selectively bred to be less bitter. Okay, so I am right. Okay, solid. And yeah, Matt says they aren't berries, they're technically aggregate fruit. Oh, wild. But yeah. Oh yeah, and Chris says we're talking about broccoli on 420. By the way, happy 420 while we raise money for all things green in this world, but mostly nature in this particular case. Lena says they still suck though. I really like them. I think if you toast them in like perfectly the right way, they can like caramelize and I really like Brussels sprouts personally, but I'm not known for my taste. What else were we talking about? Oh my God, raccoon dogs as well. These little guys, also adorable, also not dogs. They're technically, fuck me, what are they? They're closely related to foxes, right? Which are closely related to cats. So they're probably closer to cats than they are actual like dogs or anything. A heavy set fox-like canid, native to East Asia. They feed on many animals and plant matter and are unusual among canids, that they hibernate during cold winters and can climb trees. They just look cute. I just think they look adorable. The time when raccoon dogs nearly invaded Minnesota, they're innocent. There's no way that would have happened. Let's see. And Victor says, and its closest relative, the maned wolf, which is also not a wolf. Let's see, maned wolf. I think, oh my God, this thing looks like a cryptid. Hold on, look at how skinny its legs. This is leg goals right here. Look at her socks. This is gorgeous. She's fucking walking right there. Matt says, 420 fact, hops, which we used to make beer, is the closest living relative of cannabis plants. Really? Oh man, yeah. Dude, back when I worked at a plant clinic ages ago in college, we got so many different like submissions from cannabis farms, and we couldn't legally take them in because we were a government-funded organization through the university, which means we couldn't take like recreational cannabis, but we could take hemp. And so people had to very specifically specify what exactly they were sending us. And it's like, buddy, I don't think you're using this like specific strain of cannabis labeled Green Goddess to make rope. So like, you're gonna need to start being honest with us here. They were so ready to lie on their paperwork. But yeah, this thing is tall. Oh, it brought us back to the WWF. Meet the solitary nocturnal maned wolf. What species looks like a frog, walks like a deer, and barks like a dog? It's the maned wolf, a spindly-legged, red-coated canid found in Brazil's Cerrado grasslands. But despite its name and characteristics, the maned wolf isn't a wolf at all, but it's the only member of a unique genus, which means golden dog in Latin. They're 3 feet tall. A golden retriever is usually about 2 feet tall. So it's a whole ass fucking foot taller. Ugh. I would not want that thing, like, I would, if that'd be scary, walking around at night. That's all I'm gonna say. Oh hey, and Victor says I represent the least cat-looking cat, the jaguarundi. Jaguarundi. Oh, a medium-sized cat of slender build, native to the Americas. It looks also like a taxidermy. It also looks mad to be alive. Look at this thing. It's constantly glaring. It's so pissed off. Oh my goodness. What are these things? This is a... They have them in Texas? No way. Hold on. Yeah, it's in South Texas. As recently as the early 1990s, but is now believed to be extirpated from the US. Aw. They shipped him out. It's a medium-sized cat of slender build. It's usually got 2 morphs, either gray or red. It's got short legs, a small head, round ears, a short snout, and a long tail, resembling a mustelid. Oh yeah, mustelid's like, oh my god, what am I thinking of? Ferrets and things like that are mustelids, technically, I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, weasels and otters and all that sort of stuff. It's more active during the day. Has pretty large home regions. It's pretty cute. Its name literally translates to dark jaguar, even though it's teeny. Oh, Matt says I must put forward the rock hyrax, which is the genetic mammal that drops 0 loot and missed all the software and hardware updates for the last few million years. This sounds so familiar. Hold on. Oh my god, yeah, I remember seeing so many comments about this thing and being like, yep, that is an animal. This is certainly one of the most animals of all time. It's just a guy. He's chunky looking. I feel like I have an ex who looked like this. Dude says still nicer than a lot of house cats I know. Oh yeah, and the Hyrax vocalizations are so funny, says Temporalis. I don't know if I want to go through the effort of putting one out now. But they are just, I don't know, they look kind of judgy. Which, a guy who looks like this has absolutely no business judging. There's also a species of like creature out here known as the pika or pika, which are probably the cutest fucking animals on the planet. These guys are so adorable. They look like a little like bunny hamster cross essentially, and they are like they have really shiny ears in certain light. And let me see if I can get a picture of their ears. No, there's a picture of one screaming. Hold on. Pika ear? Maybe? Yeah! Oh no, those are mites. Maybe I'm thinking of something else, but there's definitely a creature out there that has like round ears that looks exactly like this, poking its head out of rocks and screaming. And then also has like really colorful ears. But they're so cute. They are incredibly endangered, I'm pretty sure. Let's see. But they are related to like rabbits and things like that. In the autumn, they pull hay, soft twigs, and other stores of food from under rocks to eat during the winter. Oh yeah, it's also known as the whistling hare because of its high-pitched alarm call it gives when alarmed. We have 2 of them in North America. Yeah, okay, found in the mountains of the western United States. So that's why I know about them is because they're around here. Hi, Yves. Are you thinking of the screaming desert mouse? I might be. Screaming. desert mouse. The grasshopper mouse? Hold on. National Geographic, save me. Let's do this. It's gonna take so long to load because of the stream, by the way. It eats up my internet. But this guy's so cute.
In the middle of the Sonoran Desert, this mother grasshopper mouse tends to her pups. While tiny and adorable, don't
should do this
be
more
mistaken.
often.
This is not your common house
We
mouse.
should just watch National Geographic
From
during
the day
stream.
they are born, these mice are natural killers.
No, this guy?
Insects, lizards, scorpions, and even other mice are all on the menu. This mouse is distinguished from
He's
most
innocent.
other rodents in its reliance
He didn't
on a
do that. He walked
meat-based
up on the
diet.
body and it was already like that.
It regularly takes on prey as large or
I can't imagine a
larger
mouse
than
like this
itself.
taking on a scorpion though.
Making the grasshopper mouse even more of a standout is its immunity to scorpion venom.
Oh, it's
Not
immune!
only can it withstand the typically deadly stings, its body has adapted to convert the toxins into a painkiller.
What? So it gets stung by scorpions. Not only does the scorpion venom not do anything to it, but then it turns it into fucking liquid
After a
aspirin in its
scorpion,
body?
A giant centipede might seem easy. However,
Oh, bug
these
warning, by the way.
centipedes are venomous. A pocket mouse has already fallen victim to its toxins.
The fact that they're called pocket mouse.
The
Pocket mice
grasshopper mouse isn't
is
intimidating.
so cute. I dare scientists to give a fucking new mouse species an
This
absolutely
time, the
horrifying
trick up
name
its
next
sleeve
time.
Isn't immunity, but agility.
I bet they can't do it.
It
They always
uses
call it
its
like
quick
adorable
reflexes to
little guy
avoid the
who's never done
venom from the
anything wrong
centipede's
mouse,
fangs.
or absolutely so small, smallest
Before it
mouse ever
enjoys
mouse.
Another fresh kill, the
Except in
mouse
Latin.
proclaims its territory
Lino says, as a British person, it's weird to see a nature documentary not narrated by David Attenborough.
by
Yeah.
howling. The mouse throws its head back and lets
There it
out
is,
a
it did the
high-pitched
thing.
cry into the night sky, giving it the nickname of werewolf mouse.
That is so cute. He's just screaming. Dude, it reminds me of when I used to watch nature all the time as a kid, which started my whole journey of now wearing this t-shirt and putting little adorable baby tigers on my OBS overlay. But there was this one episode called Moment of Impact, which was, from forever ago. And they would like show specifically the, oh my God, hold on. It was like a specific episode where they would show like CGI recreations of what exactly was happening
Next
to the
time
animals
on Nature.
while they were
Discover
hunting and like doing all these
predator
things. Surfing says such a ferocious little mouse. Yeah, he was
Go
such a tough little
inside,
guy.
and the genius of animal engineering
This is it.
revealed.
So this was back in
When
like the
forces collide,
late
the
2000s,
natural
early
world
2010s,
displays
where they're doing all this
superpowers.
CGI and showing off exactly what was happening and how these different organs were like
Blink,
functioning for these
and you
animals
might
and
miss
enabling
it.
them to have different senses and to like do different deadly things. Yeah. Reg and Chilla says creepy bugs and a screaming mouse thing. Hey, the screaming mouse thing is adorable. Also, Paul says, I just randomly found you and I didn't realize you're the girl from Instagram until now. Yeah, that's me. Oh yeah, and Lucas says the CGI is just the Mortal Kombat fatalities. It really is. But let's see. Also, hello to Surfing Peekapoo, who says such a ferocious little mouse. One of the other things that I really like, hold on. The common basilisk is probably one of my favorite lizards ever because they also call it the Jesus lizard because it straight up runs on water. Let me see if I can find it. Here's a real science video about it, talking about like how it essentially creates little air bubbles underneath its little feetsies as it runs.
This little
And it's-
reptile may look like a normal little lizard, but
Yeah.
it's in fact a creature capable of something that some would define as a miracle. In the blink of an eye, it takes off and dashes away, sprinting on top of
The way
water.
he like propels
Meet
his
the
arms around is
basilisk
just so
lizard,
funny to me.
the
Velox says I would once
water-walking
again like to bring
dragon
attention to the
that
mimic
seems
octopus.
to defy
Yeah.
gravity and challenge a lot of what we know
can do that
about
after this.
movement and locomotion.
Man, now I
Unlike
just want to go
its
down a
mythical
YouTube
counterpart,
fucking rabbit
basilisk
hole.
lizards
But
aren't
like,
in
look
the
at
business of
his
causing death with a
his
single
stroke.
glance. In fact, real-life basilisks are
Lino
not
says it
very
do be
formidable,
scootin'.
and
So
are quite
he,
vulnerable to
like,
death
something
at
about
the
the shape
hands
of
other
its
forest dwellers,
hands as it
such as
slaps
large
down the
birds,
water. It tries to do it with,
snakes,
like,
and
as much
fish.
downward force
They
as it possibly
generally lay
can.
motionless, and their
And
cryptic coloration
it,
allows
like,
them to blend
in
in
that
with the
way,
brown hues of
creates a
branches or
pocket of
dead
air
leaves on the
underneath
forest floor,
its
or the
feet, I'm
deep
pretty
greens
sure,
of foliage
that
higher
allow
up
it to
in the
stay on top
trees.
of the water for
When
just a
threatened,
split second. Like, it
however,
can't stand
basilisks
still
employ
or anything
one of
like
the
that. It
most
does have to stay
creative
moving.
escape strategies
Is there
known
a
in the animal
recreation? Yeah, here we go.
it first slaps the surface of the water, which creates a pocket of air that keeps the lizard from sinking. It's this same kind of air cavity forming phase that allows us to skip tiny pebbles across the surface
That's
of a
it.
lake.
They're better at this
In the
internship than me.
stroke phase, the lizard starts to
And so
propel
they
itself
just
forward,
like
its
zoom.
leg very quickly
They definitely can't
digging
stop
into
zooming
the
though,
air
or else
pocket
they'll
and kicking back
kind
as
of
it pushes off the
sink
cavity
and all
formed.
that. Mimic octopus. Right, that was it. The mimic octopus, a species of octopus from the Indo-Pacific region, which uses chromatophores. Chromatophores are kind of like, there's cells that they're pigmented, but they expand and contract as needed to make your skin look like it's different colors. I say your skin as if you're an octopus watching this right now, which if you are, you should donate to the charity stream, because that would benefit you directly. We're raising money for the Worldwide Fund for Nature here. But it basically like expands and contracts, kind of like a pupil, I'm pretty sure, that shows like increases or decreases how much pigment covers the surface area of the skin. I'm pretty sure that, yeah, squids do it, but I'm pretty sure, God, what are they called? They're my favorite cephalopod. It's the tentacles, the cuttlefish. I'm pretty sure they also have that. But mammals and birds, in contrast, have a class of cells called melanocytes for coloration, which is what we have. We have melanin. But they, yeah, pigment-containing cells. Some species can rapidly change color through mechanisms that translocate pigment and reorient reflective plates within chromatophores, which is used as camouflage. Ah, interesting. So it's not like it's expanding and contracting. It's straight up like moving pigment around. That's crazy. That's cool. Anyway, the mimic octopus can show off a little bit and can turn itself into what look like different surfaces almost, right? Like these are the ones that have, let's see. It can do striped white and brown to scare off predators by imitating a poisonous species. Oh, this isn't the one that does textures, is it? It mimics numerous different species of animals, some mimicked more than others. It mimics lionfish, sea snakes. Oh my God, it hides 6 of its arms and holds the remaining 2 parallel to each other. This is crazy. Holding out your arms in a way to make you look like a snake when you have that many arms is a feat. It is insane. Can you imagine? Yeah, someone said the best kind of illithid. Can you imagine an illithid doing this? An illithid mimic like hybrid would be so crazy. Oh, maybe I should make that I should make a video about that. That sounds so fun. Hi, Benji. Have a good night. Victor, have a good night as well. I must go to sleep. It's not 3 in the morning. Oh my God, it's 3 in the morning there? Oh my God. But yeah, cuttlefish are my favorite animal, says Cheese Prof. I highly agree. They're so much fun. They're also just smart. Cephalopods are just insanely smart. There's also, what's the octopus that uses coconut shells? Hold on. There's this one species of octopus. Yeah, this was on Nature forever ago. It like carried around coconut shells with it and used it as like defense. And it was so cute. Hi, Eric. Oh yeah, Paul says the illithid eats the brain of a cuttlefish and realizes he's a rookie. That's a really good comic idea. That's fucking smart.
A discovery that would put our understanding of the octopus onto a new level of sentience, occupied by only.
Oh my God, look at this guy just walking. I love animals, man. They're just so cool. I just think they're neat. Eric says, I got dice from the Roll for Hope stream a while back in the mail. They look so good. Hell yeah. Yeah, thanks for donating to Roll for Hope. That's amazing. And Luke says, an octopus with a coconut shell bra, basically. Paul Shave says, someone please steal that idea and do something with it. Yeah, like, I could do a skit maybe, but it wouldn't be nearly as good as an actual,
but it needs to find
like comic of someone eating an octopus. Oh yeah, and Vlog says like a feral illithid developed psychic camouflage as a survival tactic.
A perfect shelter.
Dude, I'm kind of surprised illithid don't do that. I mean, I guess they can do minor illusion and all that sort of stuff, but being able to straight up go into someone's mind and be like, hey, by the way, you don't see me. What you see is a gorgeous barmaid. that sort of stuff. Matt says octopus and cephalopod eyes are so different from ours.
Carries it
Suspected they evolved independently from fish and vertebrates. Yeah. So look at this little guy. This little man has places to be. The eyes in
Use
cuttlefish
it to hide.
are like little W's because it helps them see, I'm pretty sure, through the 3D environment of water a lot better. Yeah, they provide high contrast in dim underwater environments. There we go. Such as refined three-dimensional vision that allows them to accurately estimate distance and speed of fast-moving prey. It's called stereoscopic vision. Yeah, you can find it at Radio Shack. They only have one kind of photoreceptor, but the W-shaped retina allows them to distinguish color wavelengths differently using polarization instead of the different kinds of photoreceptors for color vision present in humans and other vertebrates. Crazy. Absolutely insane. Pupils are so funny. Pupils are so crazy. Like staring at a goat eye for too long, it really, you understand why these guys are associated with like the Antichrist. If it wasn't for the fact that they're just incredibly dumb. I believe it's to help them with, God, why do goats have, I used to know this. I used to work with goats. It basically just helps them see on the plane around them to make sure nothing's coming at them from, you know, because they don't have to watch out for what's above them or below them as much. Keeps them, helps them keep an eye out for predators approaching. Space says, I was walking along a beach in Galveston and there was a man-o-war washed up all over the beach. Yeah, man-o-war are crazy. Wait, Galveston? Where's Galveston? Why does that sound familiar? Also, Matt says trilobites are the oldest known animal with preserved identifiable eyes. Holy shit. Oh, that's weird. I don't know if I feel cool about trilobites having eyes. I mean, the fact that scallops have eyes is already really disconcerting to me. Have you guys seen this? Where they have, like, here we go. The eyes are all around the shell in a way that just looks absolutely horrifying. It's giving Be Not Afraid. Here we go. Open image in new tab. So if you eat a raw scallop, you do get stared at the entire time. The thing is, we've confirmed, or at least we're like 90% sure that scallops don't have any ability to feel anything. So it's fine to eat them. Let's see. Galveston, the ghost casino town in the Gulf of Mexico. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Oh yeah, and Lucas says, should we do Metazoa to cap off the night? Maybe anyone else who wants to match me on a $5 to charity if she gets the answer? Let's fucking do it. I'm so down. Guys, if you're new here, Metazoa is a game that we play every now and then, whenever I remember usually, and whenever I have time, where we are trying to guess a specific animal that is, it's like hinted to us through its evolutionary tree. So it's randomized every day. It's like Wordle. And we start off by guessing a species, and then it'll tell us what our goal species is, what the hidden creature is, and what it has in common with the species that we guessed. So the closest ancestor, essentially. Does anyone want to kick us off by naming an animal at all? To start off. Also, hi, Spinosaur Tamer. Hello, over on YouTube. Let's see. I'll take a sip while we're waiting. But hi, Kaiser, welcome in. We have a lot of new followers today. Hello, guys. I could also start with like, I could start with a scallop because we were just talking about it. Oh my God, wait. Oh, sorry, the stream just popped in with everything. Let's see. Can we start with red panda? Is it D&D Wordle? No, but that's a great idea. Grizzly bear, crabs, a rock hyrax, koati. Oh, I kind of want to do a koati. Oh, it's not in here. Shit. A crab, because we talked about how everything becomes crabs. I'm going to start off with a horseshoe crab, because I have Magic the Gathering on the mind all the time, and horseshoe crab is a very famous card in that game. Okay, not a great start. So this is a really good example of how it works. Essentially, it's going to tell us what the goal creature and then the creature that we just guessed have in common. They're both bilaterians, which is not great. It's basically like a symmetrical type of animal. The fact that it didn't show us any other crabs, it didn't show us any, that actually rules out a lot of stuff. So it rules out insects, it rules out decapods of any variety or hexapods of any variety. So we know it's not an insect, we know it's not a crab, we know it's not a crab-related thing. Chameleon is a solid guess. Let's see if that lands it closer. Ossiictes. Okay. Okay, for some reason, a chameleon is this type of fish. It's a bony fish, or it's derived from a bony fish. A diverse clade of vertebrate animals that have endoskeletons primarily comprised of bone tissue, encompassing both the conventional bony fishes and technically, all tetrapods. So we know it's a tetrapod. Probably. Bearded dragons. I feel like if it was any sort of lizard, it would have given us something closer to chameleon. So I'm willing to bet it's a fish again. I suppose. Maybe. A coelacanth. Yeah. Does it? No, coelacanth isn't in here. Tuna is a solid guess from you, Bess. Hey, there we go. So it's definitely a fish. We're looking at a percomorph. A percomorph is kind of like the most basic bitch type fish you can find. It's an extremely large and diverse clade of rayfin fish. 17,000 known species, both marine and freshwater. Most speciose clade of extant vertebrates, which doesn't narrow it down that much. Angelfish. We can do angelfish. We can't do angelfish. Never mind. They don't have it. It's not on here. Also, someone said I love bearded dragons. Dude, bearded dragons are so cute. They're so cute. They have such big personalities and people don't give them nearly enough credit for it. Salmon is a very good guess. Let's see if we're getting into... No. Okay. So a salmon is a utilisto... Oh my god, I used to know how to pronounce this. A utiliosty. Also known as utilios. Bony fishes then... Okay, so really old. Basically, salmon are way too old. We're looking at a percomorph, which is going to be... What else? Clownfish is not a bad one. No. Okay, this is where my fucking expertise really starts to fail me. A stonefish is another guess. We just need to get, like, more... Oh, stonefish isn't in here. Barracuda. We need to figure out exactly what type of, like, species or genus we're looking at when it comes to fish, because we're shooting all around it. Tuna, barracuda, clownfish are all around there. Should we do bass? Also not on there. Flounder or halibut? Same thing. Closer. Sort of closer. So the bass... The largemouth bass and the animal we're looking for are both percomorphs. An extremely large and diverse clade. Oh, it's the same thing. Eupercaria is giving me the exact same, like, definition, so that doesn't help much. But we know it's related to bass. Are eels in that? I think so, yeah. Anglerfish? We can try an anglerfish. No. But that is close. That's also around there. So I'm guessing trout. Trout is also a good guess. No, I don't know. A blue tang? I feel like a blue tang is going to be closer to, like... Oh, yeah. Okay, so trout is in the salmon family, so it doesn't count, but bass does count. I don't know, man. I don't like the fish ones. Let's see. Are there any eels? We could go into eels. Someone said flounder. Yeah, flounder's not on here. Shit. We could do... Someone said mola. Also not on here. What is another fish that's close to an anglerfish? What are those flat ones? Did we already guess that? The betta fish? No, not by either name. A stingray. I don't know if rays are going to be in here. Only because, oh yeah, they're gnathostomes. They have jaws, essentially, is kind of how you define those guys. Which is a weird way of doing it. Grouper, also not on here. Monkfish, not on here. Moray, let's try that. No. Where are they putting eels? Eels are teleosts, but they're a whole separate species. Okay. What the fuck? A moonfish, not on here. Is the sunfish on here? No. No one tell us she spelled betta fish wrong. Shut up. I got it. We're good. I know what a betta fish is. Unfortunately not on here and is also further. Should we start doing, like, tropical fish? Like, what's... Oh yeah, pufferfish is a very good one. Let's try that. Nope. We have 6 guesses remaining. This is killing me. We could do... Pufferfish are closely related to anglers. They are. It's like placing it in the same Eupercaria, like, umbrella, but it's not what we're looking for. There can't be that many fish out there. At least not in this... There can't be that many fish on fucking Metazoa. Frogfish? is not on here. Catfish, maybe. No. No, it's way up here. It's not even related. Perch is not a bad guess. Holy shit, the answer was perch. Who was that? That was Matt. Oh my god, Matt, well done. The yellow perch, also known as Perca flavescens, is commonly referred to as the perch, striped perch, American perch, or preacher, which is wild. I didn't know he was religious. Is a freshwater perciform fish native to much of North America. Okay, I went full saltwater. I kind of hate that like saltwater fish and freshwater fish aren't more distinct based off of environment. I know why they aren't, but you know, little me who's trying to learn is really not doing well with all these fish, dude. Holy shit. Also, hello, Karavak, who says, hi, Diana doing a live stream? I love your videos. I've been watching the last year or two. Yeah, I stream 3 times a week. We're actually raising money right now for the Worldwide Fund for Nature, which we've actually raised $500, which means we have 2 giveaways to do this weekend. It won't be done now, but if you guys want to join it when it happens, it'll be in the Discord in the announcements channel. I'll post it sometime Saturday or Sunday. We just need to get through the rest of this week's charity streams and then keep going. They're called preachers because they have white collars? Oh. Really? That's cute. Oh, like the little David Tennant vibe. Please tell me you guys have seen Inside Man. If not, that joke is lost. Amazing. Inferno Carson says, speaking of animals, I just remember the RTS game Impossible Creatures. You fuse animals together to create an army. Fusing animals together in fucked up ways is one of my favorite themes of horror, which is just body horror, essentially. And Kaiser says, do you have any critters yourself? I do. I got 2 kittens. They were adopted not too long ago, off the streets. You know, it was a hard life for them for all like 2 weeks before they got, well, technically 9, before they got picked up. Oh, Deuce says I might name my next cleric Perch. That's actually a really good name for a cleric. It's giving like Southern Louisiana preacher vibes, you know. But anyway, thank you guys so much for helping me raise money for the Worldwide Fund this stream. We're going to be doing it again tomorrow as well. We have a total goal of $750 across the entirety of this week. So that means today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, we're going to be starting our streams at 5 o'clock and going to about 6:30. And we have a couple incentives that you might have noticed on here. We have a giveaway for a stuffed elephant, a stuffed panda, and if we make our goal of $750, we'll have a stuffed orangutan as well. So far, the elephant and the panda are here and ready and waiting for their future homes. You can adopt one of these little guys by entering the giveaway this weekend. It'll just be straight up a Discord post, and then you just react to it to enter, and then I'll ship it to you. So this is the elephant. Since we reached $250, and since we reached 500, we also have a little panda boy to give away. So if you guys like stuffed animals, then absolutely join the Discord, and you don't have to say anything or do anything. I don't even think you need to agree to the rules to join the giveaway, to be honest. There's a bunch in there from last week as well. Did the other raffle happen? I'm about to do that actually right now. So I'm gonna hop off this stream. Thank you guys again so much for joining me. If you're watching on TikTok and Instagram, I'm gonna say goodbye now, but I hope to see you guys again tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Hopefully on Twitch. That's where the majority of the fun happens, and that's where I can chat to you guys a little bit more easily. So I'll see you guys on Twitch tomorrow at 5 o'clock Pacific. And then for those who are watching everywhere else on YouTube and YouTube and Twitch, you're getting a full experience. You can see like all of the overlays and everything. But again, chat's just a lot more fun over on Twitch. It's a lot more active there. So I do hope to see you guys on Twitch primarily. It's a lot of fun. And then I can do this thing where I can send you guys to my friends. So I'm going to send you guys over to, should I send you guys to Shadley? No, I'm going to send you guys to Aries, because Aries is doing a 420 stream and he's playing Peak right now. So I'm going to send you guys over that way. In the meantime, thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, I will see you tomorrow, 5 o'clock Pacific. Be there or be square, and we'll help save wildlife. Bye-bye.